Virginia, and whatever happens next. The 933 Experiment. This is News Radio WRVA.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. It's Rich Herrera. End of a busy week here on News Radio WRVA. And I'm going to just admit it. I don't bring this up very often because nobody wants to wake up in the morning, drive to work, and hear the morning show host go, I'm so tired. You're tired. I'm trying to get you to work. But this morning, I'll be honest, dragging a little bit because last night we went to Mount Vernon for the Young Americans Foundation, the kickoff rally with Governor Allen and his wife, and had an amazing time, but we didn't get back until really late. So a little sleep deprived this morning, but I think we got through. I invited my son Riggs, who I talk about incessantly on the program. So if you get tired of it, sorry. But I'm really proud of this kid. And I said, hey, come hang out with me this morning before you take off. So we're flying him home tomorrow so we can go back to school, start a senior year. And it's been fun hanging out with you this morning.
It's been fun being here.
Okay. If you want to text to us, you can and answer a question. I could even maybe try to let you sneak in a telephone call at 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. The number for you to join us. Text message, James or text line, or call us 833-804-1140. All right. So let me read some of these text messages because people are. Oh, I'm sorry, Super Dave. Go ahead, jump on here. I'm sleep deprived. I'm dragging today, and you're crushing me.
Okay, Boomer.
Yeah, exactly. Dave said I got another pair of tickets I can give away right now. So can I do that right now, Dave? All right. Dave's telling me shut up and talk. Get it together.
Shut up and give away the tickets.
Shut up and give away the tickets.
I was going to say, how does one shut up and talk?
I don't know. Ask him.
I don't think that's physically, possible.
He tells me that all the time. By the way, somebody asked, did I get you a tomahawk ribeye for your birthday?
Not for my birthday, but I do have one.
Yeah. And you're going to cook it this weekend?
Probably Saturday, depending on what my plans are.
So good. All right. I got a pair of tickets to give away to the Truck Series race at Richmond Raceway next weekend. It's the Truck Series. NASCAR coming to town. I got a pair of tickets. I'll give them away right now. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. Riggs, pick a number.
6.
Caller number 6 right now. 833-804-1140. You win a pair of tickets to go out to the NASCAR race on Friday night to see the Truck Series. They're really exciting. I had a great time out there last year. So caller number 6 right now. 833-804-1140. You win the tickets. All right, we got to go through some of our text messages. I'm gonna clean this one up. Gen X. How does one grow up with Star Wars, Rambo, A-Team, etc.? It still end up being a blank bottom feeder. That's the real question you should be asking yourself, Rich. 20-somethings aren't brainwashed by their idiot parents' BS and not exposing the tenets of communism or classic socialism. This is a blankety-blank scare tactic that might play with the boomers. Okay. I'll ask you this. I don't know. I want to make sure that I'm not getting played by social media. The rise of the left, socialism, communism, Marxism, the Democratic Socialists of America, the Bernie wing, the AOC, the Mamdani, all of those. And it's funny because they never want to really say what they are. Well, we're not communists. We're democratic socialists. But you see it on campus. I saw it when I was there every day on campus when I was doing football and basketball over there as a pre and post game show. So I was on campus all the time. I saw all of it. Am I overstating it? Is this scare tactic like this person has to say? Am I making too much of it, or do you see the rise of this on campus?
So I do, but I also have come to realize that what I experience on campus and what's going on in the country at large are two different things. Most people in the country are not as radically leftist as some of my classmates are, but it is scary that that school of thought is becoming acceptable.
normalized.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. So, and again, people always ask, wait a minute, I don't understand what he's doing. So you went to school at the University of New Mexico.
Yes.
Then you went to a service academy.
Also, yes.
Then you sailed around the world.
The better part of a circumnavigation.
Right. Okay. Sorry, you didn't go all the way around the world, but
No.
you were out to sea for almost
Better part of a year.
Better part of a year you went out to sea.
4 ships, 8 continents, or 4 ships, 8 countries, 4 continents.
Okay. Then you came back and change your major, so you had to start from scratch, finishing at the university. From where you started years ago to where you are today, have you seen more kids leaning left and questioning capitalism?
Yes. Yes.
Why do you think that is? Why is your generation so open to something that my generation is like, communism? No.
Can I say it?
Be careful here. Don't get me in trouble.
Because we're dumb.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, a lot of these college kids that are saying, "Oh, well, maybe Marx was right. Maybe Marx had a point." They haven't really been out in the world at all. They haven't experienced anything for themselves. They read a lot of books, which, is great, but they've never seen how these things work in real life. And then when you point out, hey, look at North Korea. That is the Korean Peninsula is a great example of, it's almost like a case study in communism versus capitalism, because in some ways it kind of happens in a vacuum where really the difference is that 38th parallel, and then you have unrestricted communism in the north, capitalism in the south. The difference is pretty clear from space. But if you point that out to a college kid in 2026 America, they'll just look at you with a straight face and go, well, that wasn't real communism. That wasn't real. That's not what Marx had in mind. The thing that
and you've been to South Korea.
I've been to South Korea. It's awesome. Okay. I loved it there. The people are fantastic. But the thing that they don't keep in mind is that, so in the Communist Manifesto, yes, I've read it. Marx explains that so you can't go from feudalism, medieval times, to communism. You need capitalism to industrialize the nation, and then you need socialism to usher in the changes that prime the people for communism. And then once you make that switch from mixed economy, capitalism, socialism into communism, you need a professional vanguard of revolutionaries to make that happen. And they will institute a temporary dictatorship of the proletariat. Dictatorships are never, ever temporary. Okay. If you hand someone like Lenin or Stalin unrestricted power, okay, they are never going to give that up. And that's what people my age don't seem to understand.
Okay. Let's see. I got more text messages. I feel dumber for listening to you, Riggs. Don't behave. I told you. Okay. Here's what I think. I saw this with you. So I'll make this statement because I've said it without you being here.
Okay.
We sent you to a really bougie, expensive high school.
Yes.
Okay. The bougiest high school. I never ever would have been there to do anything.
I had no business going there.
It was a great high school, got a great education. But I remember when all the kids were getting ready to graduate, your senior year, you got to wear the college sweatshirt of where you got into.
Yes.
Okay. So you wore your New Mexico shirt, right?
Yes.
Originally, you wanted to go to the Naval Academy. You didn't get in right away. So you wore a New Mexico shirt. You remember one kid was going to the Marine Corps. He wore a Marine Corps sweatshirt.
Yes, he did.
But then you saw all the other kids and they were so like, my golden ticket. I got it at Stanford. I got it at UCLA.
Georgetown.
I got
Yale.
into Georgetown, Yale, all these kids. And when I talked to their parents and you would talk to these kids, your classmates, they all thought, boom, done. I got into Yale. I'll go for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can afford it. Maybe I don't. But I just have that Yale degree. My life is made in the shade and everything will be handed to me.
Yes.
And now your generation, because you're a little bit older.
I am.
You're an unk.
Yes, I am older than the typical college kid.
I see these kids now coming out of college. They were promised if you just study hard in high school and you follow what everybody else tells you to do and you get into that great college, it doesn't matter what you major in, everybody will bow down to you like it's Harvard, and your life is complete. Now they're getting out there like, wait a minute, I went to NYU and I studied something and I can't get a job, and New York is expensive, and capitalism sucks. You guys lied to me. And they're looking for something else because they were promised something that it's a lottery ticket instead of, hey, lottery ticket is you got a great education. Now get your butt to work.
Well, and I'll tell you the other big change that happened is when you were my age, not everyone went to college. Going to college wasn't seen as the norm. It was an extra benefit if you could make it happen.
If you could make it happen.
If you can make it happen, right. With people my age, we were all told, hey, you need a college education. You need a college education. So with everyone my age, going to college became the standard. And all of a sudden, having that education, having that degree it didn't set you apart anymore. Now it was just, that's the new standard.
So I'll push back a little bit because, for me, I never would have thought of going to college. I told everybody, my dad came to me as soon as I graduated high school, said, hey, what are you going to do now? I don't know. Well, you're either going to college or going to get a job. Right. I'm going to go to school. I don't want to go get a job. But I hear people out there advocating, well, you don't need a college degree. You don't need to go to college. I didn't get my degree. I didn't finish. I was an economics major, and then I went into broadcasting. So never went back and finished it, but it helped me mature. I could have done that in the military. I should have done that in the military. Probably have been better use of my time. But it was who I became. But I'll also push back because when you come from the background that I had, and my real world was my mom and dad who came from hard scrabble laborers, working people. Their dream was send your kids to college. So my dad told me this. You know this. I went to go work in the fields as a kid. And the reason I did was he said, I want you to learn how to use your head and not break your back the way I did. Because you would see people that would spend their entire life as craftsmen, tradesmen, working in the field, and you saw how broken down their bodies were by the time they were 40. They didn't want that for us. So that's why they, if you have people that are really hard scrabble, blue collar, they want their kids to go to college. Like you've seen the movie Rudy. Mm-hmm. You don't want your kid to have that life that's so rough. You want him to go get a job in an office so he's not in danger or he's broken down physically by the time he's still a young man.
Oh, and I totally get that. And if I grew up with that background, I'd feel the same way. But I think college today isn't what it was back then.
No, certainly not. What is it like now when you see these kids out there? And I would see them because I go meet you for lunch.
So a lot of them are professional students. You'll see a lot of folks my age who are on their second, third degree. And that's just, they just kind of keep collecting.
Well, what do they ask you? They ask you, oh, what are you going to?
Oh, yeah. Well, perfect example is I had a conversation with, this was my first year in college. So I was at New Mexico. And I was talking to someone who was in one of my poli-sci classes. And I said, oh, so what are you going to do after graduation? And she goes, well, I'm going to go get my master's. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Hey, what about after your master? I think I'm going to get my doctorate. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like, what about after school? Like when you're done with, you got your degrees, like when you're done, what are you going to do next? I think I'm going to be a teacher, like a college professor. I was like, so you're going to school and you're collecting degrees just to become a professor to teach more people so they can also get, I was like, this sounds like a pyramid scheme. And then she looks at me and she goes, well, what are you going to do? I said, aren't you going, because again, I'm a poli-sci major. So she goes, aren't you going to law school? I said, no, I'm at the time I was joining the Navy. And she goes, really? And I was like, yeah. And I'm just going to go do that for my career and, get out after my 20 and go do whatever after that. But so it's a lot of kids who collect degrees or they'll switch majors, 2,
Right.
3, 4 times.
And they'll be perpetual students.
Perpetual students, exactly.
Because and I look at that
racking up debt the entire time.
Well, I look at that as people that just don't want to go into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I think I see kids over there, and I would see grad students demanding more money. You're a grad student.
Oh yeah, no, I saw I think it happened in Arizona. It for sure happened in New Mexico, where the grad students were trying to unionize in order to argue with the school to start getting paid.
The same as professors.
Same as professors, exactly. And I was like,
you're a grad student. You pay your, and I don't think your generation understands what paying your dues is all about.
No, I think that's also definitely
What's the feeling of entitlement?
It is up there. Yeah. This deserves a raise. That deserves a raise. It kind of seems like they don't understand the concept of a budget.
Well, I think you know this. David Kelly, who helped me get my very first job in radio. You met DK.
Yes.
He was the broadcaster. I wanted to break in. I showed up every day for free, carrying his cables, carrying his microphone, setting things up, putting up banners. I did all this for free to pay my dues to get the opportunity. And then he finally let me get on the microphone, and that was where my career began. But I wouldn't have gotten there had I not shown up and just did everything I could to pay my dues, volunteering my time, just showing up, eager to get ahead. But I haven't had a kid like that come into my life in radio since Braden back in San Diego. He's awesome. He's
I was going to say that dude had some
show,
drive.
But I've had probably 50 kids since then, and none of them wanted to pay their dues.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair for us to ask your generation to pay your dues in order to get opportunities?
I think so. Yeah. I would say it's at your point, it's trying to find a balance between making sure that they're paying their dues and actually earning their way in, but also creating new opportunities that you wish you had seen when you were coming up through the ranks.
How tolerant?
Not at all.
How tolerant are the kids that you debate with at school?
So here's the first thing is they can't debate. Inevitably, they fall back on personal attacks or personal insults. And I have been called some of the most foul names that you could possibly imagine.
Worse than what our listeners are calling you, right? What some of our liberal listeners are calling you?
Oh, this gentleman is very nice compared to the people that I hear on campus.
All right, not everybody. Somebody said, "Hey, Rich, your son Riggs is an outstanding young man, and you were to be commended for teaching him well. Need more people like that." Martha, impressed with your son. Oh, who you want to say hi to? Stuart and Chester.
Yes, Stuart and Chester. Chesterfield.
Chester.
Thank you for texting us, man. If you see us out and about, say hey.
All right. Who else did you want to say hi? Oh, Bob Mechanicsville.
Yes, Bob Mechanicsville. Thank you very much. I appreciate you enjoying me. And Rob from Quinton. Very excited that you got to experience my home state.
He went to Arizona.
Minute. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was in Phoenix, so a couple hours away from me. But very excited that you got to visit the Copper State, and just a little sad that you enjoyed Whataburger more than In-N-Out. But I'll let that be.
All right. Well, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, get out of here. Thank you so much. Your mom and I are very, very proud of you.
I try my best.
It's been a wonderful vacation. You and I've told people this, when I lived in San Francisco, I never went to Alcatraz. We lived in Arizona, I never went to the Grand Canyon. You said, Dad, this is American history. We're going to see all of it. And every time you come home, that's what we do. So thanks for being here. I'm proud of you. Go get them.
Hoorah.
All right. That's it. That's going to wrap up the program for today. Our national anthem is brought to you by our friends at Freedom Services and Training, the biggest little gun store in town. There's a reason why I get up to do this show. It's because I love my family and I love this country, and I'm always going to defend them. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Riggs, God bless you. I love you.
Love you too, Dan.
We'll continue. News Radio WRVA.
Please stand for the national anthem of the United States of America.